Salve discipuli. This is help for your Latin studies in Henle First Year Latin, exercise number 257. In this exercise, we're given some English sentences to translate to Latin, and we'll still be working with purpose clauses, where we're given a main clause connected by ut. We would connect it in Latin by ut or ne, and then a subordinate clause that gives the reason for the main clause. In number 1, it says they fought in order to conquer. And you may remember that the word ut that connects these two clauses together, it can be translated in a number of ways. It could be in order to, in order that they may, or he may, or it may, or just to. There's a lot of different ways, or just that they may. So keeping that in mind, when you see those in order to, that they may, those are all going to be leading you into a purpose clause with the word ut. And also with ne, it would be negated. So lest or that they may not would be the way that we might translate the ne. Okay. So this is not negated, so we would use ut, and we can see that the way it's connecting from one clause to another is by way of in order to. So I'm just going to underline that and write ut. That's our conjunction there. So our main clause, they fought, and then our subordinate clause really is to conquer, or that they may conquer. And if you remember from looking at these sequences, rule number 536 and 537, we've learned that when the main clause verb is in a primary tense, present, future, or future perfect, then the subordinate clause in a purpose clause will be present subjunctive. And then the secondary sequence tells us that when the main clause verb is imperfect, perfect, or pluperfect, a secondary tense, then the subordinate clause verb will be imperfect subjunctive. Okay, so let's go ahead and just look at the main clause first. It says they fought. So here's your subject, here's your verb. Let's talk a little bit about the form of this verb, right? It's going to be third person plural, and the tense is past. Now, it's not an ED because it's irregular, but it does give you the sense of completed action. So it's not saying they were fighting. It is not imperfect. It is perfect. It's done. So this is perfect, which tells me that it is a secondary tense in the main clause, which also then indicates to me that my other verb needs to be imperfect subjunctive. Okay, and the subject pronoun they is going to be included in this word for fought. Okay, so what is our word for fight? Pugno, pugnare, pugnavi, pugnatus. Okay, we want it in the perfect tense. And so that's going to take the third principal part, pugnavi, and we're going to use the ending that is third person plural, pugnawit. Okay, and that's the whole main clause, pugnawit, they fought. In order to, ut. And then we look at our next verb, conquer, winco, wincere, wiki, victus. It's a third conjugation verb. If you don't have that memorized yet, be sure to have your Unit 3 through 5 review tabbed. That gets you to page 217, and then you can look for the correct verb and which conjugation family it belongs to. Here it is, winco. We want this verb to be imperfect subjunctive. And what we've learned about a verb in the imperfect subjunctive is that what it will do is take the second principal part, Okay, the infinitive form, here it's vincere, and add the appropriate personal sign. Well, this particular sentence carries the subject from the main clause to the subordinate clause because we don't have another subject. There's not more information, and we're talking about they fought in order that they might conquer. And I say they might conquer because that is imperfect subjunctive. That is the right way of thinking of how that translates. So we're going to take vincere and add our personal tense or our personal sign for they, nt, vincerent. And so while the English sentence reads, they fought in order to conquer, we can also think of this translation being something like, they fought in order that they might conquer. And it's the same meaning. I hope this has been helpful to you. Have a great day.